This is Tech Pulse, the show that keeps you in step with the technological world and one step ahead of everybody else. I'm your host, Hartley Reginald Smith II. Let's start the show. All right, this is Tech Pulse for April 2nd, 2013. Where does the time go? Well, we may not be able to control that, but we can control what you know about the tech world. This is where you hear all the tech stories, the top news, what's going on in different places, you know, and get that information and be able to assimilate it. And then you now know what we know in the tech world. So let's start off with our first story right off the bat. That's what we do it. You know, we don't waste time here on Tech Pulse talking noise. We go right into that first tech story. And the first tech story for the day that we want to focus on is, it seems that everyone is now recognizing the value of cord cutting. Everyone is recognizing the value of streaming online, the ability to give viewers content when they want, how they want, and they're able to watch it. People seem to be picking up on that. Now, why do I say that? Well, because AOL, now that's a name that probably many of you haven't heard in a long time. You know, remember when you used to hear back in the day, "You've got mail"? That was AOL way back then, and you know, we ain't heard nothing about them for a long time. They have an app on Roku, on Google TV and Apple TV called AOL On. That's their streaming service where they bring content, not original content, but they bring content to viewers. Now, I have the AOL app on the Roku, but I have never really watched it. I've never really checked them out to see what they offer and so forth. But the reason why I say they're catching on is because now AOL released a statement yesterday that they are getting into the original content game. They are, according to AOL Digital Content Newsfront, they said that they're in a position to offer 15 upcoming series. They're going to offer 15 upcoming series, and they spill the beans on their new partnership with companies like Nielsen, you know what I'm saying, and AXS TV. Many of you don't know, AXS TV is owned by Mark Cuban, you know, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, you know, and he also has a big HD network that he owns as well. And yeah, so one by one, notable entertainers, artists, and entrepreneurs and personalities, you know what I'm saying, took shape to discuss the project that they're going to share on AOL On. Now, they're coming up with basically reality type programming, but in particular, many of the upcoming series seems to target women. They have Sarah Jessica Parker signed on, planning to do a city ballet. I don't know what that could be about, but they have a series about, it's going to be a series about a New York ballet. They have Nicole Richie. Many of you might know her from her reality TV fame. Is turning into Nicole Richie is turning her Twitter profile into a web series. Star with Candidly Nicole. You know, hashtag Candidly Nicole. You can see that she's going to turn that into a web series on AOL On. And then Gwyneth Paltrow. You know, many of you might know her from I forget that show that used to be on Friends. Yeah, from Friends, and then she used to be on another show before that. So she will join a fitness expert, Tracy Anderson, for what they're going to call Second Chances. That's their reality series where they'll talk to women who have overcome obstacles in life and stuff like that. So a lot of these, you know, and among a lot of these are geared towards women, it seemed like. A lot of women hosts. They have, but most of it is going to be reality based, and among all the familiar faces from the traditional media, one news media star is there called, gonna have a show, I Justine. We'll have our own series on AOL, and it's gonna be a tech type show, dealing with technology, wearable computing and stuff like that. It's all about popular gadgets, that people wear and stuff like that. That's what her show is going to be about. And we have an actual clip of one of their shows, like the tech show that's going to come out. And it's just, the reason why this story is interesting is because maybe even, let's say 2 months ago, none of this was happening. Nobody was on this bandwagon of original content except Netflix and Hulu. And I've seen some previews for some of the original content coming up on Hulu. They have one that's based in a church, where like you have this guy. He's supposed to be like a loser parishioner. He don't have a lot of members and stuff like that. And that it's going to be a series built around that. They have comedy, they have action series, and all of these things. And none of them really look necessarily high budget. They don't look as polished as like cable. It's kind of like watching a foreign film, like how foreign films look. That's how these Hulu series kind of look. Doesn't look as polished as you would say as American TV. But it's a web series, so I don't think people care about that. However, AOL, I guess them going the reality type series route. I don't know if it's because AOL, they're plunking a lot of money into obviously the talent that they have that they're getting, like a Gwyneth Paltrow, like a Nicole Richie, or like a what's the other lady? Sarah Jessica Parker. Those people, probably don't come cheap. And so I guess AOL is choosing to go to the reality series route because, as you know, reality series don't take a lot of money to produce because it's reality. So they don't. It's not a lot of production. It's more just as it happens. Not a lot of editing, not a lot of all that stuff. And so they're going that route. Will this be something good? We're gonna see here with this clip that they released for their upcoming show. But it's just interesting that 2 months ago, 3 months ago, none of this was happening. But as soon as Netflix released House of Cards, and they released it, remember we said it right here on Tech Pulse, they released it, all the series at once. They came up with 13 episodes, and rather than trickle it out like traditional networks do once, like if you watch soap operas, you have an episode every day, or if you have like traditional series, it's once a week. So something comes on Monday, you watch it, cliffhanger, you got to wait until next Monday to see what happens. Even on a soap opera, something happens, cliffhanger, you got to wait till the next day to see what happens. And sometimes they may not even show that particular storyline the next day. So, but what Netflix did with House of Cards was revolutionary. They decided, we're going to give you every episode at once. We shot the series already entirely. Rather than trickle it out, we're going to give you all 13 episodes today. Boom. You decide how you want to watch it. If you want to binge on it all weekend and watch the whole thing, that's up to you. If you want to watch one per week, that's up to you. One a day, that's up to you. And that thinking seems to have spawned all these other people coming out of the woodwork. Now you have AOL, busting out with 15 new series, you see? But what this is showing is that what we've said here on Tech Pulse all along, there is a market for people to have their content when they want, how they want it, you see, and that's something that the cable companies just cannot stop, even though they might try to control this thing. And that's why companies like Netflix and Hulu are doing it, because the cable companies decide what series they want to give to Netflix. Well, okay, what will we sell you today? It's kind of like going into a store and the store dictating to you, let's see, I don't know if I want to sell you this TV. I may sell it to you if I feel like it. And you can't go anywhere else because that store is the only store with a TV in it. You see, that's how the cable companies and the networks, and that's why the networks were so hot with a company called Aereo that we talked about here, that wanted to stream their over-the-air broadcasts over the internet. They didn't want to stream. They gave people the ability to stream it, and that's the difference. They gave you an antenna that would allow you to capture this thing, capture the signal coming out of the air, and stream it online so you can watch it wherever you want, whenever you want. And the companies are like, wait a minute, you can't do that. And the government say, well, they're not doing, not the government, the courts say they're not doing anything wrong. They're not retransmitting, rebroadcasting. They're giving people a piece of equipment that allows them to take what you're giving for free and watch it wherever they want. You see? So we have AOL busting out with their first lineup of 15 new series. So let's take this is an official trailer of the new series Hardwired. This is AOL's tech series, and it stars Justine. She's a personality from the Justine is a personality from traditional media. So we're gonna see how she looks and how the series looks as I bring it up here. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up, and you guys are gonna see if you agree that AOL is on the right track. Are they on the right track? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or should AOL just stick to, you know, what they're doing? Because right now AOL is relatively unknown they do have an app, like I told you, in Apple TV and the Roku, Google TV, stuff like that. They have an app there. I've seen it because I have a Roku, and I've seen the AOL On app, but I've never really clicked on it to see what kind of content they offer. But now we're getting that they're coming out with their own original series, and you can see right here. Yep, this is it right here. This is the let's see if we can increase the size a bit. Okay, good. This is going to be the trailer for Hardwired. So let's go ahead and watch this trailer, and we're going to watch it here live together, and we're going to see if, I mean, is this something that makes sense? All right, let's check it out. Sound is good. All right, there you go. That's the official trailer for Hardwired with iJustine. Talking about wearable tech, talking about people that, you know, everything that we do from, and I'm sure she's going to have things on like Google Glass, you know, since Google Glass is obviously considered wearable tech, you know, anything from iWatches to fuel bands to, you know, because Nike has a fuel band out. You know, I mean, this seems to be the way that people are going, and also joining the AR. This is gonna be AR.
What do they call that? I mean, what are these things that we're doing now with the band?
They call that wearable computing.
Yeah.
Wearable computing, and that's what she's going to be covering. She's going to be covering anything that's wearable, like a Google Glass, like a Nike fuel band, like those sport watches, like the iWatch, you know, the watch coming out from LG, Microsoft, all those companies are coming out with a wearable watch. Anything that has computer and wearable, apparently she's going to be covering that. Now, there's not a whole lot of tech that is wearable right now. So you have, you know, some cameras, bike cameras, and Devin and I, we saw some guy on a bike the other day driving, and he had the camera bolted to his helmet. Yeah, you know, stuff like that is what she's going to be covering. But it's not like these things are plentiful, you know, yet. We don't have eye rings and bracelets and all kind of things that we're just wearing. So it's going to be interesting to see how her series is going to evolve as wearable computing gets bigger. But for right now, the wearable computing isn't a big standard yet. There's not a lot of wearable computing out there. It's going to be interesting to see how her show, what she's going to evolve it around. It also says she's going to talk about the people behind it, you know. So, I mean, that's where AOL is going. And joining the AOL lineup, like I was saying, is everyone from comedian Hank Arizari to actor Anthony Anderson, the former, or will explore his new dad status in fatherhood, which will feature appearances from actors like Kevin Bacon, Rainn Wilson, Richard Kind. If you know any of those people, I don't know anyone there except for Kevin Bacon, you know, but it's going to feature those kinds of people. The latter will gorge himself on a number of tasty eats in Anthony Eats America. Now, Anthony Anderson is, many of you might know him. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. he is an actor that he is appeared in many different movies and television series. Okay, I'm gonna just bring up his Wikipedia page here for you guys to see, so you know who Anthony Anderson is. And definitely you're gonna see that this guy, he's gonna do Anthony Eats America. And you know, I mean, obviously that looks like a show that's right up his alley. You know, as he goes around America. I guess that's kind of like a ripoff of a show they do on Food Network. I forget the name of the show, but there's a show on Food Network where this guy goes around all over the U.S. and he tries out different burgers and different, and he'll see how many of them he can eat and all that, like a food challenge. Something like that, and he goes around and he tries all these different foods, and then you have this other guy who was a Food Network star when they had that food, who's going to be the next Food Network star. He won it, you know, and he goes around on called Diner, Drive-Ins, and Dives. He goes around to all of these different diners, drive-ins, dives all over the U.S., and he will talk about their food and stuff like that and what they're doing. So it seems like AOL is trying to get on that sort of bandwagon as far as food. This is Anthony Anderson. For those of you that didn't know, and I'm sure now that you see the picture, you know who that guy is. Anthony Anderson. He's been in a number of movies and TV series and stuff like that. So that's the guy that's going to be starring on AOL's Anthony Eats America. So, you know, I hearing the name, I didn't really know his name as an actor, but I know him. I've seen him in movies and stuff like that. Yeah. And so he's going to be in Anthony Eats Gorgeous himself on America. You know, well, actually it doesn't say Anthony Gorgeous himself, but it says Anthony Eats. So that's what he's going to be starring on. So you know, this is a pretty interesting era, you know, that everyone is trying to become a part of. I mean, Devin, do you think that this right now, it shows the not only the interest, but it shows the where TV is going, whether companies like NBC, Fox, ABC, whether they want to admit it or not, this is where we're going, in that area where people get their content when they want, where they want, and able to watch it whenever they want without having to wait until next week or whatnot. People can watch their content whenever they want. Do you see this as really the nail in the coffin as far as the other networks having sole control over how and what we watch?
Yeah, I'm hesitant to say the nail in the coffin because, you know,
I mean, as far as them having sole control over what we watch, you know, in terms of you can't get content any other place.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm still hesitant to say nail in the coffin.
Right.
That says final burial.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's not over yet.
Right.
But it's a huge step towards the nail in the coffin.
It's a huge step towards.
I would say they're getting the nails together.
Yeah.
And they get the hammer.
And they got the coffin ready.
Everything is ready. You know, I think the nail in the coffin is really going to come from the users.
Right. If this thing takes off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to drive the nail when they really, because we see a serious attrition right now. Right. Fall off in numbers from who watches regular TV.
Right.
And
the numbers of cable keep dropping as far as subscribers.
It's dropping every year. Actually, every quarter they're reporting heavy losses in terms of. And the DVR thing is really catching on.
Yeah. I think that's also getting nails together for that coffin, because now you don't have to be home at 10 to watch whatever.
I'm gonna make a interesting comment for some people. Most people don't recognize that one of the major people and players is already internet based.
Right.
Uverse, AT&T is really internet based.
Yeah, it's not cable traditionally.
It's not traditional cable.
That's how they can come into an area that Comcast is in.
Exactly.
Right.
And they are tooled and equipped to actually come out full blast as an internet base. They have everything you can program remotely from Uverse and
Right.
AT&T. You can add shows, drop shows
Right.
remotely. Everything is internet for them right now.
All they have to do is give us the ability to access that content
There you go.
wherever we are,
Whenever.
and they would be the largest.
They actually, do you know that they have a DVR section?
Mhm.
What do you call when you can watch when you want?
On demand?
On demand.
Yeah.
They have a pretty big on demand section.
Right.
They're just not promoting it
Right.
right now because they get paid to promote their
Live stuff.
live stuff.
Right.
But they're really prepared to make that big switch.
Right.
I think they're going to be a force.
And I think that's why AT&T Uverse, as you're saying, is one of those companies that will be able to adapt. You see, companies like NBC, ABC, it's not that they don't have the money or the technology to adapt. They're just not geared towards everyone watching their stuff online. That's why when you go to their website, they have limited shows. They have, and they only put up what they want you to have. You see, the concept behind Netflix, the concept behind Hulu, because actually Hulu was the original platform where you could watch TV programs online and so forth. The original, big platform. But the concept behind Hulu and then Netflix, the concept behind those two as far as streaming goes, is that they wanted to have a library of content that was available to you, all of the episodes, whenever you wanted, versus what cable is doing. You see, and what AT&T Uverse still, saying has, but they can switch over anytime, but they try to follow the model, is that they will give you, in other words, NBC comes out with a show, and it's canceled now. Well, let's talk about CW. Let's talk about the show Smallville, right? Smallville used to come on. It's been on for 10 seasons. It's been canceled now, right? So they will now say, well, I want you to be able to watch season 1. And they put that somewhere and say, you can watch that. But 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, where is it? I don't have it. What Netflix says is if we have content, it's available, all of it, to you whenever you want. We have season 4, 5, and 6, but we're just not putting it live yet. We're going to keep that in the kitty, and then when we feel like it, give it to you. No, if we have seasons 1 through 10, we have it on network right here. You can watch any of the seasons, any of the episodes, and that was the difference in concepts, and that's why Netflix had trouble with CW, had trouble with Fox, with NBC, had trouble because those networks were telling Netflix that, look, we don't want you, if we give you this stuff, we don't want you to just roll it out full for the people. Because if you roll it out full for the people, then they're going to have this thing whenever they want. We want to be able to control when they watch certain things, and that wasn't Netflix's model. Netflix said that if you give us access to your entire library, we're going to make that library available to everybody, everything. And the companies were like, no. Well, we'll sell you some episodes we don't care about, some shows we don't care. We'll sell you that because we don't see any money in it. And then when Netflix started gaining customers, when they started seeing that millions of people were signing up for Netflix daily and millions of people were leaving cable, traditional cable, and signing up for Netflix, only signing up for Hulu as long as they had a cable subscription, the networks now were like, wait a minute now. We don't like this. And that's why when Aereo actually gave, because they figured, well, we still have some control over our broadcast, and Aereo came up with a device that allows me to take the over-the-air signal that comes into my house right now and be able to stream it online to where I can watch it whenever I want. They were just up in arms. You see, so this is a different era that we're living in as far as how we consume content and digital media. This is a different era that we're in, and like it or not, these things are coming. Whether people like NBC, ABC, whether they want to realize it or not, this is something that is that's coming, and they can't stop it. That's the bottom line. They really can't stop it. So it's going to be interesting to see how they basically react to this shift that's coming in content And speaking of people in that content era, Yahoo, a deal, remember we said right here on Tech Pulse that Yahoo had bought Dailymotion because, the deal was basically finalized and everything was basically set to go. But we're just learning, according to a report by the Next Web, we're just learning that the French government, because Dailymotion is a French company, the French government killed that deal between Yahoo and Dailymotion. So the deal is apparently off the table. Yahoo was offering basically to buy Dailymotion for $200 million. They were looking to get, I think, a 70% stake in the company. And it's not often that state governments become, like poison pills in certain deals when it comes to technology companies. However, this appears to be the case when it comes to Dailymotion. And the Le Monde, was the early to the story, reporting this on the 24th of last month, that the deal was yanked. And he said a government official said, now he said this in French, so this is loosely translated in English. The French government spokesperson said that Dailymotion is one of the rare content companies from France, because France doesn't have a lot as far as technology goes, as far as bring technology to the world. He said Dailymotion is one of the rare companies from France that has succeeded on the web in recent years. He said it's a gem, and moreover, it doesn't lose money, and it would be a shame for us to let it go. So what they did now in countering is they offered Yahoo a 50% stake in Dailymotion, and Yahoo walked away from it. You see, in short, the government was saying that's our treasure. You know what I'm saying? So we're not just gonna let it go just like that. And what's interesting about this is that Yahoo was gonna buy Dailymotion because that Google has YouTube. And if Yahoo wanted to get back up into the big players, they were trying to get a digital movie playing content creator already, like a platform. That's really the word I'm looking for. They want to get a digital content video platform that they could use like YouTube, where people can upload their videos and stuff like that. Because as of now, Yahoo doesn't have a platform dedicated to just that. So that was going to be what they would acquire with Dailymotion, that already had a large following, as many of you know. And so with Yahoo not being able to acquire Dailymotion, and to me, I mean, even a 50% stake, I don't understand. The story doesn't tell us why Yahoo decided that a 50% stake wasn't going to be good enough. I think basically Yahoo wanted to, obviously they wanted to control Dailymotion. They wanted to be able to put up whatever content they felt was reasonable. And they don't want to have the government stepping in and saying that you can't do this, you must do that. They want to be able to control it, and like Google controls Yahoo, they want to be able to decide what content can be put up. Because when you have government officials in charge of certain things, then and they're equal partners, it's going to be tough for you to be able to put the content you feel you want to put up there. It's going to be, because you have to deal with their regulations as well, whatever they feel is appropriate and what they don't feel is appropriate. So Yahoo was looking to take full control of Dailymotion, a 70% stake. French government came in and said, no, you're not getting no 70%. We offer you 50, but that's about it. And Dailymotion has a following, you see. So it's going to be, Yahoo's bid to take a $200 million majority stake in the video site known as the YouTube of France. That's what they call it in France. It's like the YouTube of France because it's so popular over there. It has a large following. And the French government decided that they didn't want a U.S. company to take controlling stake of a French corporation. And other tech online magazines have confirmed this. Like TechCrunch, like the Next Web, and stuff like that. They currently are working to gain again to confirm that the deal is over. But from all indications, that deal is dead. And so I think that even though there are other sources out there that Yahoo could try and invest in, let's see, like Vimeo or Hulu was on the market for a while, but Hulu is probably too expensive now because they're just way too popular. But I think this is a blow for Yahoo. I think that if they're trying to get back up into the game, maybe there's other factors we're not seeing or looking on the outside of the deal. But I think at this time, them trying to get back a 50% stake might not have been such a bad thing, because to have a platform, a digital platform, video platform, where regular people can upload content to your platform that people want to see, that people are interested in and stuff like that, be able to do that. I think, and with some of the content that I've seen on Dailymotion, it's not like, it's unlike what YouTube is doing. So I can't imagine what Yahoo would have wanted to do that would have been so terrible that they couldn't accept a 50% stake in the company. I don't know, because from what I'm seeing on the Dailymotion site when I go to it, because I've used Dailymotion before. They're not as polished as YouTube in terms of look and stuff like that, but it's similar. It's similar. But from what is on there, I don't see why Yahoo would not have taken a 50% stake in this company. And according to sources like VentureBeat, they're saying that they're not sure any American company would want to deal with the baggage associating with acquiring a large French tech company, or at least not the price originally offered. France isn't exactly a favorite among big tech companies anyway. That's not something that that's not a country a lot of big tech companies look to when they're going to go to technology. And if any of you remember, the French company fined Google for breach of privacy rules over its Google's Maps service recently. As in, because Google provides maps, and maps of different countries and stuff like that. I mean, there's they don't just have US. As you know, Google Maps is a global thing. When you go to Google Earth, they have street views of different countries, even New Zealand and stuff like that. And France, they sued Google and said that they sued Google over their Maps service that for their country. And more recently, when they fined Google, I think it was like $79-80 million they fined Google over that, for providing its Google News service without paying royalties to French media companies. So not only did the French sue Google for their maps, they also sued them for Google News. When Google would say, like world news and stuff like that on the Google platform, the French government said, well, you didn't pay us anything for delivering our news to the world. And so stuff like that, a lot of companies don't really want. Yahoo was willing to take a jump and acquire Dailymotion, but at the same time, I think they're saying that they're saying that they have enough followers in Dailymotion that they don't have to settle. They can dictate how they want to sell the company. And according to a report, Yahoo's strategy, as you know, with Dailymotion, would have turned them into a fierce competitor, in my opinion, with Google, with YouTube, because that they would have that platform that people can upload. But according to CEO Marissa Mayer, she says that their long-term goal, or Yahoo's long-term goal, of relying less on expensive content licensing deals is in favor of user-generated media, was the reason why she wanted to acquire Dailymotion. She wanted to rely less on the expensive stuff and more on, the stuff that YouTube has already. Regular people uploading their video, more on content like that. So we're gonna have to wait and see what she's willing to do, if she's gonna, go back to the table with the French company and decide to take that 50% stake. I don't know. But to me, I think from what I'm seeing, I think that was a mistake for her to back out so quickly on a 50% stake. Okay, you may not have 70%, but a 50% stake, and based on what I'm seeing on Dailymotion right now, it doesn't look like she would have been restricted in what kind of content she was going to be able to offer on Dailymotion. So this is a big story that we're going to have to wait and see how it's going to be solved over the next coming months. Now, for those of you that have on the Sprint network, your carrier is Sprint, and you've been waiting patiently. As you know, the Samsung Galaxy S4 has been released, and many people have it right now. Many people are using it. We even showed you people doing various drop tests and so forth. So the phone is out. However, if you are on the Sprint network, what I'm about to say next could be bad news for you, because the Sprint subscribers who have pre-ordered their Samsung Galaxy S4 from Best Buy, according to a report by Android Central, Best Buy has been sending out emails to the customers who have pre-ordered the device, telling them about some delays and that some of the orders placed for Sprint's version of the Galaxy S4 could be shipped later, with dates ranging from anywhere from between the 9th of May to the 20th of May. So if you are looking forward, then to get that Samsung Galaxy S4 on the Sprint network, according to a report by Android Central, that could be delayed. If you are looking forward to that latest smartphone, this could be a letdown. But Best Buy says in their emails that customers are free to cancel their orders if they choose. You can either wait, or you can cancel your order, or you can buy it somewhere else. That's basically, what Best Buy is saying. Now, obviously, letting people know they can cancel their order. I mean, you're not doing anything there because I don't have the product. So, of course, I can cancel my order. But if you're waiting for that, and you're waiting for that on the Best Buy stores, well, unfortunately, you might be a little disappointed, because that phone will not be out on the Sprint network on time. Delays are happening for people waiting for this phone on the Sprint network. Now, what does this mean for Sprint? I don't think this is going to hurt Sprint at all as far as sales, or as far as the Galaxy S4, because people want this phone. Regardless of the fact that a lot has been made about the plastic back that the phone has on it. And that drop test that we saw, that we broadcast right here on Tech Pulse, that back, it was pretty durable. Even though in that final from the head drop test, the back came apart, but it snapped right back on. So, even though much has been made about it, I think people still want that phone. That phone is still a very well-built phone, and seeing that most people use phone cases anyway, I don't see that plastic back being a point where someone is going to say, "Oh man, I'm not getting this phone because of the back."
No,
I don't see that.
That's no deterrent.
No, that's not going to be a deterrent. So, for those of you that have been waiting on the Sprint network, and you're saying, "Man, yes, I was waiting to get this phone." Well, there's some delays, but between May 9th and May 20th, you should be able to get your phone, and it's definitely worth the wait. So don't jump ship. Don't change carriers. If you like the Sprint network, if you always wanted to, your contract is up and you wanted to go to another network anyway, then you would have gone anyway, from what I'm seeing. But if you're wondering whether you should ditch that and get like the Galaxy Note 2 and stuff, that's a good phone as well. But the Galaxy Note 2 is a good phone. As a matter of fact, I know someone that has it that swears by it. He says to him that's the best phone out there. But I'm saying, if you're looking for that GS4, you're not going to be disappointed if you just take the time and wait just a little while. You're not going to be disappointed. So don't worry about Don't worry about wondering whether, oh man, this thing is just being delayed too long. I can't deal with that. No, so don't worry about that. You see. So in other related stories, well, not related, but in other stories, we have for those of you that know about Path, it seems that Path again has been spamming the address books with unwanted people's address books with unwanted texts and robocalls, and they had this problem before, and it seems like this problem is coming back now. For many of you who may not know what Path is, who Path is, I guess, and not what, but who Path is as a company. Many of you who may not know that Path is basically they are a social networking, how would you put it? A social networking enabled photo sharing and messaging service for mobile devices. They came out on November 2010, and the service allows users to share with close friends and family. It's not something that like a Facebook where you can just have a bunch of random people friending you. Path is more personal, to where they only allow, you would have to choose the people you want to follow you on Path. According to, and then they max out, I think, at 150 people is all you can have as far as people following you on Path. Path limits the user's social network to 150 friends. Not like Facebook where you can have thousands of friends or anything like that. It's 100 because it's supposed to be a little more personable type website. Users update their stream on Path by posting photos, adding tags for people, places, and things and stuff like that, and then your family will get those notifications, and they'll see, because the close friends that you have, will get the notification. The people that you have elected to open up on Path will get that stream from you, and that's how Path works. So it's just to recap, it's a social networking enabled photo messaging site that allows you to, for mobile devices, that allows users to share with close friends and family whatever is going on in your world. So that's Path. Now, as far as what happened with Path, according to a story coming out of The Verge, Path recently, a while back, they had this problem where people when you signed up for Path, the people who you signed into your friends list would automatically, if they're on Path, they would automatically get this update saying that so-and-so is on Path, and letting you know what's going on. But and what happened was they kept spamming their email boxes, and Path allegedly had fixed this problem. But recently again, that seems to be happening again. Path is spamming the address books with unwanted texts and robocalls, according to this report coming out of The Verge. Now, Path just hit about 10 million users yesterday, and has been getting some heat from what these users are saying is spammy tactics to recruit new users. That's what the users are saying that is happening here, and they think that's what's going on. They say a digital marketer, Stephen Kenwright, downloaded, this is what he said, he downloaded the app earlier this week. He tried it out and decided it wasn't for him, right? So he heard a lot about Path. This guy, Stephen Kenwright, heard a lot about Path, and he said, you know what, I'm going to try this. So he downloaded the app, and then as he used it, he said, this is not for me. So he uninstalled it, went to bed. When he woke up, he found that Path had gone on a rogue mission, as what he called it, early in the morning, texting and robocalling unknown number of his contacts, including his grandparents, texting them everything. And by the time Kenwright got to work, it became clear that Path had gotten in touch with his entire phone book. Everyone in his phone book, Path had sent messages to co-workers, friends, families were asking him about the texts or phone calls they received from Path. They were saying, what's going on? Which stated that Ken Wright wanted to share photos with them. And Ken Wright is saying, I didn't want to share anything with you. I canceled the service. You know, and this is what he said now, having uninstalled the app yesterday, I decided it wasn't for me. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that Path took this data out of my phone book sometime during the half hour that I had it installed, that he had Path installed on his phone, because it's a mobile app. So he installed it on his phone, all his contacts, because Path integrates, they can integrate with your phone book, so it makes it easy for you to choose who you want to send these things to. Path integrate with his phone book, and according to him, they sent not only messages but phone calls out to everyone, saying that he wanted to share photos with them, and he didn't. He said already at least 2 other users have complained about the same issue, and the same issue that bothered users in the past seems to have been coming back. So Path really needs to clean this up if they're going to survive, you know, because Path is really, they hit 10 million users, and they say they're adding millions of users every week. But I mean, it's going to be tough for people who have been dealing with this with Path to again, this has happening again for them again to put their trust back in Path now when this type of thing is happening. Now Path doesn't call users. Robocalls were an unintended consequence, possibly due to extra carrier service that turned text messages into like into the landline phone calls and whatnot. However, the service does send mass messages to a user's Facebook friends during the sign-up process by default. So when you're signing up, you have to unclick that you don't want to share any information. It's the default that it automatically will. Now, if I was Path and I had this problem before of my app spamming people's mailboxes, I would have made that an option that people have to check. In other words, people would have to decide to send that information. Make that a box you have to physically check. Don't make it a box that's checked already when you sign up and the person really doesn't know that that's what's happening. Now, again, you know, it depends on if you fully read everything when you're signing up. You know, a lot of times we sign up for things and we don't read all the disclaimers and stuff like that. So some of these things can come back to bite you in the butt if you don't read everything fully through. And I'm going to show you a little message of what his friends and family actually saw, you know, when they got their text message. But for a company like Path, that's, you know, that they've hit 10 million users, but they're trying to grow, and they're more of a niche group. They only allow your friends and family, people that are close to you, to you know, to be able to for you to connect with. So if that's the case, it's not a mass, and that's why their users are not as big as, like, say, Facebook or Google Plus or any of those other, Twitter, any of those other social networking sites like that, because they're focusing more on just family and friends. So now, as you can see, this is the message right here that his grandparents and all his friends saw, and this is what they were questioning him about. They were like, man, you know, this is it right here. And it gave them a link right here. As you can see, it gave them a link to click, that they can go and click the Path. But, you know, when they clicked it, it went to nowhere. And so, because he had canceled his service. And so this is something that, for those of you that use Path as a social messaging site, this is something you may want to take note of. Not necessarily cancel your affiliation with Path or anything like that, but just something you may want to know is happening with Path right now. You know, and Path has been on a huge growth spurt recently. They've been adding, according to reports, about 1 million users per week on these type of tactics that they've used, and users have been complaining about the aggressive messaging that they've been getting from Path. So if you're a Path user, this is something that you might want to might want to make sure that you don't be a victim of, because I know that many people use Path, and they use it just for the people who they want. Like they'll have Facebook, and then they'll have Path just for their family and friends who they really want to keep in touch in their world and what's going on. So this is a cool, not cool, but it's something that you need to be aware of going forward with in your usage, of Path. All right. In other stories, we have Samsung announces the NX2000. Yep, Samsung announces the NX2000. You're saying, man, what is the NX2000? Well, we're about to show you right now. We're about to tell you what Samsung is doing with this new piece of technology. They are adding some features to it, the NX2000, and it's a Wi-Fi. It's going to come with Wi-Fi and NFC, and this is their new camera that they are coming out with now. So for those of you who, those of you who are looking for a a good camera, Samsung is bringing to market the NX2000, and it has Wi-Fi. Now that's a good feature for any camera, Wi-Fi and NFC. If you're looking to share photos without having to download it or send it, obviously you know what NFC is, near field communication. With just a tap or a bump of another phone or another device, you can share pictures and text messages and different things from one device to another without having to actually download it or anything like that. Now, Samsung is launching this latest camera to sit in its NX range of compact system cameras in the shape of the NX2000, fitted with a 20.3 megapixel APS-C size sensor. It is joined by the DRIM IV image processing engine, which has been designed to reduce noise, improve speed, boost color reproduction. So this camera is really going to be something that's rich. It has continuous shooting at up to 8 frames per second. Also, it has a 1/4000th second top shutter speed. 1/4000th of a second shutter speed. So is also promised. So you're going to be able to take super fast pictures. If you want to take even motion type shots, like stop motion photography, where the person is not, it's not a fluent movie, but it takes the shots close enough to where you can make a movie out of those shots, with 1/4000th shutter speed. And it also has a wide sensitivity range of ISO 100 to ISO 25600, which is included. And on the back of the camera is a 3.7-inch WVGA full touch screen, which can be used to control all aspects, of the camera. You don't have to, there's not some and then others have to be with a dial or anything like that. So this is a pretty decent camera. If you're in the market for a camera and you're looking for something, now the smart mode in this camera provides options to help beginning photographers. So this is a high-end camera, but it also has, if you're new to the market and you want a camera that you can grow with, this is definitely, because it has an option for beginners. It offers you, people that are beginners, 14 different scene modes, a range of settings to reflect the shooting environments and needs. For instance, action freeze can be used to capture a child running, for example, while best face takes 5 consecutive photos and let the user select the best expression of each person in the picture for the final result. So it has those two types of automatic features that if you're a beginner photographer and you don't know how to do all those features, you can still look pretty professional with action freeze mode and best face mode. The range of lenses available for the NX camera has grown to 12 different lenses that you can choose from, which includes a compact pancake type lens, flat, zooms, portrait, and macro lenses. Eye function lenses also allow controls such as aperture, shutter speed to be changed via the button on the lens. Now, the key part to this camera, because I mean, I'm going to show you a picture of this camera in a minute. It's nice, slick. If you're looking for a good camera, that's why I'm telling you all these specs here. If you're looking for a good camera, this thing is equipped with Wi-Fi, and with other smart NX cameras, the NX2000 also features NFC, near field, as you said, as I said, communication. Allowing you to instantly be able to, is going to be instantly compatible with Android smartphones, Android tablets, any of those. So you have pictures that you want to just share, or not even share, but you've taken some pictures and you want to put it on your phone. You know, rather than emailing it to yourself and all of this type of stuff, you have your Samsung Galaxy S4, or you have your Samsung Galaxy S3, or any Android phone that has NFC built into it as well. You tap the two and boom, your pictures have gone directly from the camera to the phone. A direct link button can also be used if you don't have NFC. Direct link button can be used for instant upload to social networking sites like Facebook and all of this stuff. You get a free copy of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom 4 will be included with the purchase of the NX2000, designed to appeal more obviously for the advanced users and stuff like that. And the colors you're going to be able to get this bad boy in, you're going to be able to get it in black, white, and pink. So I don't know who would want a pink camera, but
I'm ready for the pink. I'm going out and getting the pink.
Now they didn't list the price of this, but let me go ahead and show you a picture of this, because this is a nice point and shoot type style camera, but it's very powerful. So people who have been hesitant to get an SLR camera or a DSLR camera, digital single lens reflection camera, those are the more expensive ones. They can cost you, DSLR can cost you easily $500, $600, $700, $800, depending on the type of camera. SLRs, you know, same type of range. So if you're looking for a good, basically point and shoot style camera, this is it right here, the Samsung NX2000 with Wi-Fi and NFC. I mean, instantly upload your pictures as you took them to Facebook. Of course, as long as you in a hotspot area, you can do that. But it allows you to do that. And that's the good thing with Wi-Fi. A camera that's Wi-Fi, because you can instantly go online to update your Facebook. I mean, if you're traveling.
Did you say the upload speed or the communication speed?
No, they didn't release that information on the upload speed. They just said you have a direct link button that allows you to upload, but as far as how fast it is, they didn't release that. Now, that could mean one of two things. That could mean either the upload speed isn't that fast, so they don't want to tell you, or they just didn't want to say it now in this. But they've given so much other information that leaving that out, leads me to believe that the upload speed maybe is not the best, maybe it's not the fastest.
Of course, it's dependent on what you connect to.
Right, what hotspot you have.
I'm talking about the communication speed on the camera
itself. And then what Wi-Fi do they have built in it? Do they have 802.11 A, B, or something, one of the earlier ones, or do they have N, the fast? So, they didn't really release that, so, we don't know exactly how the upload speed is. But for a camera, for a point and shoot camera,
that's pretty good.
It's still pretty good. For a point and shoot camera, that's pretty good. And so if you're looking for a point and shoot, something out there that you can be on vacation, you have pictures you want to show your friends.
One viewer says she'll take the pink camera.
She'll take the pink. Well, there you go. That thing right away. This is available for all people. I mean, Samsung knew what they were doing apparently with that pink. They knew people were going to, they don't just want the white. They don't just want the black. They want the pink. Okay, so this is, if you're looking for a good camera, you're looking for a good point and shoot for people who are not really top level photographers, but you want to look like one, this camera has the specs, definitely, that will help you to look like a professional photographer. Now, that's not to say that people aren't professional photographers in their own right, but if you don't know a lot about photography and you're looking for a good camera, this is the one you need to get. The Samsung NX2000. 1000 with Wi-Fi and NFC. Now, in other news, we're talking about HTC. We talked about Samsung, and we're going to one of their competitors in the phone world, which is HTC. Now, coming off the success of the HTC One, HTC decided that it would be in their best interest to come out with a smaller miniature HTC One called the M4. It is a 4.3-inch miniature HTC camera, and according to HTC, they are set to release this smaller version of its current flagship phone, the One. So if you're looking at the HTC One and you say, well, that's kind of too big for me, I don't, I want it, but it's too big. HTC is going to come out with, it's rumored right now, they're going to come out according to a source on the web. The device is codenamed the M4, and it's going to feature a 4.3-inch 720p display and an ultra pixel camera similar to the one on the HTC One, which is a pretty good camera, because we've shown you the side-by-side comparisons between the HTC One's camera and the Samsung Galaxy S4 camera. The HTC One takes better night pictures. The pictures the colors are a little richer and so forth. So the camera on the HTC One is better than the camera on the Samsung. That's not to say the Samsung Galaxy S4 camera is bad. It's just that the HTC camera One is a step better than that based on the images that I've seen. So if you're looking at this and you're saying, man, that phone, the HTC One, the original one is too big, don't have any worries, no frets. HTC is releasing this 4.3-inch 720 display, like we said, with the ultra pixel camera, similar to the HTC One. It's going to have a dual core processor. These are all the standard features. Dual core processor with 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of onboard storage. It's going to run Android 4.2, Jelly Bean. Yep, Jelly Bean, not the ice cream sandwich. This is coming right out the gate with Jelly Bean, and it's going to have LTE connectivity, so your 4G, 3G, whatever you have in your area, it's also going to support that. And they are saying that the HTC is reportedly set to announce this phone by the end of the year. So, Devin, do you think that this is a good move by HTC, who has been a struggling company in the past, recently, and with the success, we have to say success, because, I mean, the HTC One has been reviewed to be one of the best phones out on the market today, and that's hard. That's not an easy title to get when you have the Samsung Galaxy S4, iPhone 5 in the market as well. But they've rated the HTC One as one of the top phones out there. Now they're miniaturizing it. Do you think this is a good move, or should HTC focus on just doing the next generation? Now that they have this out, focus on the next generation, or getting this into the hands of smaller people, also a good idea.
What do they mean by miniaturize? I don't...
Because the screen is going to be smaller. Right now they have the HTC One, I think, is about a 5-incher. This one is going to be a 4.3-inch size. So they're making it smaller. They're saying they're coming out with a miniature version.
You know what I think? There's going to be a market for any kind of phone, right?
Right.
But the issue is most people are trying to bridge that gap between the tablet
right,
and the phone,
right?
Because now you have to carry two things, and
right,
especially men,
right,
without the pocket,
no pockets, right.
They're gonna want that in between where they can do work,
right,
but still use the phone,
right,
and
not look like you have a tablet to your ear.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think they'll find people to buy it, but I think they're going in the wrong direction.
So you think they should have more focused on just the next iteration?
As a matter of fact, they're doing a good thing with the One,
right?
And the size and everything like that. So
right.
I think they need to stick on that and make sure it's really top notch,
right?
Rather than going the other way.
Right, rather than trying to come up with a miniature. Because the thing is, we would tend to think that a lot of men are the only ones getting these bigger phones, but studies have shown that women like the bigger phones as well, because, I mean, women use tablets as well, so it's not any more inconvenient for them to have a 5-inch, a 5.5-inch phone than it is for them to have a tablet. And now they have a phone. They have like Devin is saying, they have that bridge between a phone and a tablet, so they don't have to carry two devices around in their purse or carry these big shopping bag purses anymore. They don't have to do that. So this is one. I think that HTC trying to is one of those things where they've been gone for a while. They've been gone for a while, and they're trying to get phones out there in the market. They're trying to get as much variety out there as possible. They have a hit with the HTC One, and they're trying to just get, I think, quantity choices out there is what they're trying to do. Now, like Devin is saying, maybe what they should have done is in the wings of the HTC One, have another type of phone, not the HTC One miniature, not that, but try to have another phone, not the HTC One, maybe call it the HTC Arrow or something, another phone that they can market coming out like towards the end of the year, focused on different things, like maybe it's focused more on media, or it's focused more on social networking, or whatever it is, and then have those choices like that. But having a choice of a phone that's the same exact phone, just smaller. I don't know whether, you know, many people are going, not saying that no one is going to get it.
People are gonna buy it, you know.
Right, but I don't think that having a big phone was going to be a deterrent for people to say, oh, the phone is too big, I'm not picking it up until they come with a smaller phone.
Did they say in any article or anything that there was a complaint or,
no,
you know, someone saying maybe they should go this way?
No, it's just that's HTC just trying to bring choices to the market.
Some stuffed shirt coming up with a brilliant idea again, how to waste the company's money and pass on the cost. That's what it is.
Pass on the cost to the consumer. Yeah, because I mean, you have something that's good right now, and according to all reports, the design is very similar to the HTC One right now. So you're not getting a different phone. Even though that the HTC One has a quad core and this one will have a dual core processor in it. I mean, even stuff like that is even going backwards. So now you have a smaller phone that's not as fast, you know, as the HTC One, the bigger one. So I don't know. I don't know what HTC was thinking. Like you said, maybe it's some suit, you know, in the upper office that's saying that they need to come out with a smaller phone, you know, maybe because, you know, that way we can get all of the market. And I just don't see that this being a very successful campaign. Now, will people buy it? Yes. People are going to buy this phone. There's no doubt about that. People are going to buy it because it's HTC and it's the HTC One. But are people going to buy it because it's a smaller phone? I don't think so. If it's dramatically cheaper, maybe. You know, if you're going to come up with a cost difference like that, then maybe you've said something, you know, and that would have to be what HTC is thinking with coming out with this phone. It would have to be a phone that they're saying, look, we're also, not only we're going to come out smaller, but we're going to come out cheaper as well, and maybe that will garner some people. All right, so let's take a break to talk about one of our other endeavors here at Pulse E-Media. Unique Creations by Liz. Many of you who have been listening to Tech Pulse have learned that Unique Creations by Liz is a event planning website. She plans everything, all kinds of events, from weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthdays, graduations, and you know, graduation season is coming up. So if you want, and this is us on her website, she shows you some of the things that she's been a part of as far as events. Here are just some of the things she's been a part of as far as events. And if you're looking to throw an event with graduations coming up, you can call Unique Creations by Liz. Ask to speak to Liz. The number is 954-292-6848. Also 954-435-4717. Unique Creations is sponsoring an event called Expressions, a Caribbean American exhibition. Here, businesses can promote their products and services. So if you're a business and you want to be a part of this event, call Unique Creations at that number, or you can visit their website at uniquecreationsbyliz.com. At the Expressions Caribbean American exhibition, this is the fourth annual multicultural showcase. It's happening June 6, 2013 from 5 to 9 p.m. Thursday on the Inverary Vacation Resort. That's located 3501 Inverary Boulevard, Lauderhill, Florida, 33319. There's going to be great music from reggae to soca to saxophonists, violinists, much more. You're going to have a chance to enter to win a getaway at the Renaissance Hotel. Several dinners for two will be given away. Baskets with Caribbean products given away. Great gift certificates, raffles, fantastic show offers. There's going to be fantastic food, fun. I mean, this thing is just going to be packed. So if you want to be there, complimentary parking and admission are all free. Some of the sponsors include Amerijet, Sea Freight, Caribbean American Passport, Auto Nation, Ellis, Jed, and Bowden, attorneys at law. You know, I mean, this event is going to be jam-packed with fun. There's going to be great networking opportunities. If you're a business and you want to be a part of this event, call Liz at 954-292-6848. Let her know you want to be a part of this, and we'd like to thank her for her support of Tech Pulse and Pulse E-Media. All right.
But by the way,
yeah.
I mean, we know people that are not in the sunny state of Florida,
right,
that would love to watch the entertainment, and that's why we're going to be there.
Live.
Love to watch what's going on. We bring it to you live and uncut. So just tune in.
Uncut, uncensored.
Uncensored.
There you go. Whatever happens there is happening. This is not doctored footage. This
doesn't stay in Vegas or in Florida. Goes everywhere.
So if whatever you do, it's going out live. So join us June 6th.
And we can make it possible. If you have an event wherever you are, Africa, New York,
if you're
France,
in this planet.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
If your pulse is working, you can arrange with us to broadcast an event right here on MyOccasionsLive. So just get in touch with us, and we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to let the common man have access to multi-million-dollar broadcasting capability. That's what we're doing right here at Pulse Media. The same stuff you see at NBC and ABC, that's what we're using to broadcast right now. You know, broadcasting over the web right now. And you can have access to that. You know, so just call us. And Devin, what's the number they can reach us at should they want to call into the show, or call and contact about advertising opportunities? 954-323-8355. 954-323-8355. Call in and go live right on, or you can call also 954-323-2548. 954-323-2548. There you go. And be a part of Tech Pulse. Be a part of all the shows we have here. Night Shift. I mean, Night Shift is on tonight. Don't forget to watch my boy Kevin Stew. That guy touches the real topics dealing with humanity today. I mean, he had a topic. I was listening to one of his shows, and he was talking about, you know, how children today, because there was a story on where these parents decided to make their male child into a girl. They decided that their child would be more comfortable being a girl, you know, because, you know, whatever reasons they had, they decided that this would be more comfortable for their child. And he touched these kinds of topics. See, these are topics that people don't want to talk about because everyone has something to say, and no matter who you say, or no matter what you say, you're going to offend somebody. DJ Kevin Stew tackles these types of topics, and he tackles it in a graceful way, but yet hard-hitting to where you're going to understand what's going on in the world around you. So don't forget to check out Night Shift tonight, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. live with DJ Kevin Stew. All right, let's get back into the tech news that we've tuned in for. Now, for those of you that have been T-Mobile subscribers, those of you that are Metro PCS, I know, Devin, that you've been in the Metro PCS world for a little bit now. And the deal between T-Mobile, because remember T-Mobile had, they were a part of Metro PCS. However, yesterday the deal was finalized, finally. T-Mobile announced that they had completed their acquisition of Metro PCS. So they haven't just partnered with Metro PCS, they have bought Metro PCS. And after a slightly bumpy ride along the way, the combined firm will simply be called T-Mobile US. So you will no longer be, not you, but you will no longer see it called Metro PCS or anything like that. It's going to be called T-Mobile US, and it's hitting New York Stock Exchange. It hit the stock exchange yesterday under the ticker TMUS. So it's no longer Metro PCS and T-Mobile. The combined name now is T-Mobile US. And T-Mobile.
So wait, so they got the approval because someone says it's needing regulatory approval. So maybe.
Well, the deal is done between the two of them, and then it's pending approval.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the approval, according to the source, is really just a formality. Everything is set for T-Mobile to take over the company and become one T-Mobile USA.
It's going to be an interesting relationship because the Metro PCS format and operating, mantra is so far from the others.
Right.
And this collaboration is going to widen that.
And especially with T-Mobile's that even though they didn't disclose everything with that plan, that prepaid, I still think it was a good plan to allow you to be able to buy the newer phones at an additional, at just a small monthly fee that T-Mobile offered. So you're right. This is going to be a good collaboration. I feel that's really going to propel T-Mobile because T-Mobile has been, believe it or not, T-Mobile has been struggling in the cell phone market, which is why they decided to come up with that prepaid plan to be more competitive. And Metro PCS has been on the rise. Many people love the fact that Metro PCS has a $40 a month plan. That's it. You buy the phone and it's not $40 and then 8 billion fees. No, it's $40 a month and that's it. So that merger is going to prove beneficial for T-Mobile. We just have to see how they work it. Now, they initially offered $1.5 billion for Metro PCS last year, but word has it that they decided to sweeten the deal to gain Metro PCS shareholders' approval. In a press release yesterday, T-Mobile confirmed that Metro PCS stockholders received the $1.5 billion while Metro PCS grabbed all of the T-Mobile's capital stock from DT in exchange for around 74% of Metro PCS common stock. Now this is a big win for T-Mobile since it gives the firm Metro PCS's 9 million subscribers for a combined 43 million subscribers between T-Mobile and Metro PCS, a precious wireless spectrum. And according to a press release, combining the two companies, the spectrum provides a path to at least 20 megahertz of 4G LTE in approximately 90% of the top 25 metro areas by 2014. I mean, this is going to be huge for T-Mobile. I mean, because imagine, Metro PCS always, at least here in Florida, Metro PCS was good as far as not dropping calls and whatnot, and the T-Mobile network is big. Yeah. And now you have that collaboration and the technology of both of their speeds, 20 plus 20 megahertz on a 4G LTE network.
The funny thing was that Metro PCS was making inroads on the cities, on the inner cities, because of their plans,
right?
Because of
the
no commitment,
right?
No 2-year commitment or stuff like that.
Pay as you
fair
go. Commitment.
Yeah, but not only was the plan flexible, but it included so much,
right?
Full data access, internet access, and all those things. It was great. So I think T-Mobile recognized that they would have a ready-made, network
already
on the inside, on the cities,
right?
And so adding that national flavor to it now gives them a pretty good strong
Base.
your base.
Oh yeah. So this merger really is all that's left is for it to finally be approved. But from what we're reading, that's just a formality. They're going to the merger is going to happen, and T-Mobile USA will be born. Now, how this is going to affect existing customers, we don't know yet. As far as how it's going to affect existing customers on the T-Mobile and the Metro PCS network, I'm assuming, like Devin is saying, that this is just going to be a merging of the two. So when your T-Mobile service and all of that won't be affected. Whatever plan you have won't be affected. I think that they're saying that Metro PCS is still gonna.
Sorry to cut you.
Go ahead.
Someone has, quite a bit of information.
Go ahead.
They will have over 40 million subscribers.
43.
Oh, you got
43 million.
that. Okay, 43.
Yeah,
Okay.
43 million. Yeah, we just announced that here because Metro PCS had about 9 million, and that combined with T-Mobile's gives them over 43 million subscribers worldwide. So not worldwide, here in the US.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy what they're going to be able to do, and with their network.
Yeah, but they have an issue with combining both networks because one, they're two different types. So.
And does Metro PCS use LTE network, or do they use something else for their 4G? Like, do they use because they have
I don't know exactly which one they're using.
Yeah.
But I think it's not the same as Verizon, definitely.
Right, it's not the same as Verizon because
I think T-Mobile and Verizon are using the same kind of network.
Same kind of network.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see how their networks mesh in terms of their 4G. But I think that that's just gonna be an easy transition as far as that is concerned. I think so. I think that's not gonna be a major hurdle for the T-Mobile Metro PCS merger as far as their networks, the technology to merge their LTE networks, together. Either if Metro PCS is not using an LTE network, they might switch to it because LTE networks is just more popular. The other 4G networks that they were using, a lot of them, the technology is just not as fast as the 4G LTE network. So we're going to see, and I think T-Mobile will really, since they have acquired Metro PCS, they're going to bring them under their umbrella. And as we know, a while ago, AT&T tried to purchase T-Mobile and failed. So now T-Mobile coming up with their own, because AT&T likes to, they like to consume when it comes to the phone companies and so forth. And their attempt to buy T-Mobile had failed. So now we see T-Mobile themselves becoming a major player in the mobile phone war. So it's going to be, this is going to be interesting to see how these two companies really, how do you put it? How these two companies really mesh together. Now, here's one thing that we were talking about here on Tech Pulse. You know that we've been talking about 3D printing here for a while. Many of you may not know about 3D printers. Well, let me just give you a little bit of history. 3D printers are printers that print objects, not paper. In other words, 3D printers, they don't print, your traditional printer will print an image on a piece of paper, right? Obviously a 2D image. It prints images on a paper. 3D printers can construct whole objects. In other words, rather than printing a picture of a wrench, 3D printers can print the wrench so that you can actually take it and use it right now. That's the technology of 3D. And the reason why they call it 3D printers is because it's obviously printing in 3 dimensions. It's printing a whole object as opposed to just a picture of an object. And using the raw materials, these objects are usable. They're not figurines. They're not for display purposes only. These objects are usable in the real world. And ProDesk 3D has unveiled the world's first full-color 3D printer. Now, Bot Objects, which is the owner of ProDesk 3D, has come out with their 3D printer in the form of the ProDesk 3D. That's what they're calling it. It allows modelers to pick a desired shade and quickly print a 3D model with 5-color reusable cartridge system. The ProDesk 3D printer is fitted with a unique 5-color cartridge system combined with a 25-micron dual extruder head to produce high quality finish on any 3D printed models that you might do. And the ProDesk 3D is capable of printing ABS material if required. Now, according to someone from ProDesk, they said that the ProDesk 3D is the first 3D desktop printer to offer true full color printing, changing the way that creators think about what they are printing. They said just like a normal ink printer, the ProDesk 3D uses its proprietary 5-color cartridge system capable of mixing primary printing colors to generate the color of choice for the object you wish to print. This is delivered seamlessly with our software included with the ProDesk 3D. Now, if you want more information on the ProDesk 3D printer, you have to go to botobjects.com. That's botobjects, one word, obviously, .com's website for details. Unfortunately, they didn't have any information on pricing or worldwide availability yet, but obviously, as soon as this information is out, we here at Tech Pulse will let you know. But the point of this is to show you, and I'm going to show you what this printer looks like front and back. The point is it's showing you that 3D printing is becoming a reality, because before the 3D printers we saw were huge. I mean, these things were in warehouse rooms, you see. But now to bring 3D printers down to the size to the masses, this is truly, and be able to print anything you're looking for. You're looking for a spoon, you're looking for a knife, you're looking for whatever you're looking for. You put that image into the 3D printer and it prints an actual object that you can take out and cut or do whatever it is that the object is to be done. Now here's what the 3D printers look like. That's the front and the back of the units, and these things are not prototypes. These things are real printers. They haven't announced a release date or when it's going to come out or what the price is going to be, but we've seen 3D printers for $1,399, $1,399. Yeah, that might sound like a lot, but to think of having technology that can print objects, not just print pictures on a page, but print objects. I mean, that's just astounding technology. So it's going to be interesting to see what this tabletop 3D printer, and this doesn't look like your traditional 3D printer, but in here, you know what I'm saying, is where you would get your objects coming out. So I mean, this technology just shows that, you know, what's possible. This shows that 3D printing is coming, and for those of us that haven't been aware of 3D printing, you haven't been aware that this type of stuff is real, I'm telling you, in the next few years, you're going to be printing objects out of your computer. Imagine going into the kitchen and saying, man, you know, I need a cup, or you have guests coming over, and you realize, oh man, I need 2 more cups. Who wants to run out to the store and get 2 more cups? Just, you know, and then you try to scramble around and say, well, I just won't drink anything, or, you know, my husband and I, we just won't drink anything because, you know, we need 2 more cups, you know, for this party. No more of that. You print those cups. No, not an image of the cups. You print actual cups and use that to serve your guests. That's what 3D printing is doing here. And so the announcement of the ProDesk 3D, the world's first full color, not because they have color 3D printers that can print color in terms of you want a blue wrench, you know, you want a yellow, you know, it can print like that. But to mix the colors was still something that was tough for 3D printers. This printer allows you to mix colors like a traditional printer to get a wide palette of colors. So if you want something that's fuchsia versus hot pink versus red versus green, you know, lime green, tree green, whatever, this printer can do it.
I can't wrap my head around it. I'm trying really hard. I just can't, you know, printing a cup in the kitchen, an object, it's just so far-fetched for me. And you know, I'm no, you know, technical slouch, but that's, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling.
Oh yeah.
I want to see a demo.
Let me see if I can bring up a demo of a guy who printed that wrench.
No, I want it in our studio.
In-house demo.
I want us to call them and say, can we do a demo on Pulse Media. We want to show the people,
what you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What this thing is capable of doing. I'm telling you, man, this 3D printing is not one of those things that is just another object in your house. It's not just something that's like, you know what I'm saying, 3D printing, who really cares about 3D printing? No. 3D printing is something that's going to change not just the way you print, because you figure, well, what kind of printing technology change the way I print? Well, what can that do? No, 3D printing is going to change the way life is lived, because you no longer, for those last minute items, you don't have to run to the store, or you're fixing something and you're like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, I wish I had a monkey wrench, or I wish I had, you know what I'm saying, a needle nose pliers, all of this stuff. You put that information into your 3D printer, press print. In an hour, you have a needle nose pliers right there. So you might say, well, in an hour, I could have gone to the store. Yeah, but what if you have other things to do? What if you know a party is coming up, or you need this wrench, but you can do other things to go to the store? You have to stop what you're doing and go. What 3D printing allows you to do is continue with what you're doing as your object is being printed out, and boom, you know what I'm saying? You take that thing and you just go about your business as normal. So that's going to be
medical implications.
Medical implications right there.
Really,
you know what I'm saying?
really
Being able, because we did here on Tech Pulse, where at a conference they printed an actual jaw of someone who might, you're in an accident, your jaw is shattered and they need to replace it. They printed a jaw, they printed teeth, they printed bones. Can
imagine the surgeon pulls you into surgery and says, okay, this is what we need, this is what, they find out while they're in there.
Right.
While they're inside of you.
When they're inside, what they need, and they say, oh man, we need a femur. No more putting steel.
Call down to the print shop and get an arm. That's amazing. We just call downstairs and get an arm.
Get an arm.
They send up the...
No more steel. Think about this. No more steel in your legs, because they can't find compatible bone tissue to replace the shattered bone or to shore up the bone. They can print bone-like material and use it. So this is just wild right here. So we're gonna definitely see. We're gonna definitely see where this technology goes, and to see that they're coming out with the commercial models. That's really where the excitement is. The commercial home models, because they already have. Well, not commercial home model, the consumer model, sorry. They already have commercial 3D printers that are huge, but to have it in the home for home use, where you can print the things you need, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait to see how this thing, and really, and like Devin says, getting a real live true demo. When this thing is released and it comes out to market, you're going to hear it right here on Tech Pulse. Now, if you're looking for if you're maxing out your wireless network inside your home or office, by streaming video or playing lots of bandwidth grabbing, online video games and stuff like that, you might be in the market for a better performing router. I know here at Pulse Media we have multiple routers that we're using. And if you are looking for that next level in router technology, a company called Edimax. Now, the reason why we're bringing you this is because these are things you can't find in Best Buy. You can't find these things yet. These things are we're giving you the scoop on these up-and-coming products. A company called Edimax has a new combination pack with an 802.11 AC router and a USB 3.0 adapter for your computer that promises 3 times the bandwidth of the 802.11n wireless devices. And 802.11n is the fastest router that we have right now, and they're saying their new 802.11 AC router is 3 times as fast as the 802.11n wireless devices. They said, whereas the current 802.11n wireless networks max out at about, say, like 300 megabits per second, their 802.11 AC network is good for up to 867 megabits per second. Now, this is obviously in theory depending on, what you're downloading and stuff like that, but it has a maximum capacity of 867 megabits per second. The max out of the regular 802.11n wireless routers is 300 megabits per second. Now, both the router and the USB 3.0 network adapter have selectable bandwidths supporting both 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz connectivity. The USB 3.0 network adapter is required since the 802.11ac protocol supports more bandwidth than USB 2.0 port can handle. So you have to have minimum a 3.0 USB connection because the bandwidth, the USB 2.0 just can't handle the bandwidth. In real world use, the manufacturer promised that the 802.11ac system is going to be easily able to do 360 megabits per second data transfer throughput with a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi performance. And that makes it at least 2 times faster than other brands, according to Edimax. So there's no indication of how much this router is going to be. The network adapter combo pack is going to cost, but this is what they are saying. They are gonna, if you want more information on how much it's going to be, when they're going to come out with this thing, you have to go to edimax.com to check this thing out. And we're going to show you a picture of this. But to get speeds from 300 megabits per second to up to almost 900 megabits per second, when you're dealing with transferring video, when you're dealing with playing online video games and all of that stuff, this thing is definitely a plus. And being able to be minimum 1.6 to 2 times faster, I'm telling you, man, if you are having problems and you're saying, man, I need me a new router. I need something that can handle all the stuff I'm doing. The Edimax Dual Pack 802.11ac router with USB adapter, this right here is what you need. So go over to Edimax's website. Check it out. See when they don't have any. If you want just more information on it, you just want to see what else this company is offering. But this right here, they didn't really release a time and a price point for this yet. But we're gonna be on top of it. This is stuff that's coming out. I'm telling you, you're not gonna find this at Best Buy because Best Buy, it's not out for the general consumer yet. But my point is, we're making you aware that this stuff is coming. So if you're looking for that, this is something you might want to keep your eye on. And the Edimax, USB 802.11ac router is something that is going to change the way people who, especially if you download a lot of video content, you do a lot of heavy applications that deal with video, and you want to transfer that between different devices over the web. This is something that you need to, take note of. Not out yet, but coming. Just keep your eye.
Is there
a release date?
Yeah.
No, they don't have a release date time yet. They're just saying that this is what they're working on. I'm thinking that this is obviously a working prototype. So I'm thinking by no later than next year this time, we're going to see this being out in the consumer world, because this is something that they know definitely needs to be out for, for companies like Pulse Media, for companies out there that do a lot of heavy, use a lot of bandwidth when it comes to your data and your data transfer. This definitely is something that is going to be good. Now, in lighter news, Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, it's kind of an interesting. Tim Cook will be sitting down sometime next year. Tim Cook will sit down with a cup of mud or coffee with someone who has paid at least $210,000 for the privilege of sitting down with Tim Cook. You know what I'm saying? According to a report, Apple CEO might soon be sharing Silicon Valley's most expensive cup of coffee. The report says that Apple's fandom taken to its craziest and costliest extreme, perhaps, but this is all going to be for a good cause. Cook has volunteered through an online auction site, Charity Buzz, to share up to an hour of his precious time, because you know Tim Cook is running that billion-dollar Apple company with two lucky and obviously deep-pocketed winners. Proceeds from the auction will go to the RFK Center for Justice and Human Rights, an international nonprofit foundation, as a memorial to Robert F. Kennedy by his family and friends. In the auction's first day, Cook had gotten 52 bids, starting at $5,000 and spiraling up quickly. And the leading bid when the auction closed was $210,000, and there was still 19 days left to go. But the bidding closes on May 14th. So if you want to sit down with Tim Cook, the bidding is up to $210,000. If you want to sit down with Tim Cook and pick his brain, you know, and you have deep pockets, you know, the auction is open. He's willing to spend, and the money is going to charity. He's willing to spend, he's willing to spend 2 hours of his time with anyone that can obviously go above $210,000 to sit down with Tim Cook and find out what's going on. I mean, this story is just, I mean, it's one of those things that's like, you know, why? You know, why would this auction be so costly? No one thought it was going to go this high, but apparently there are people out there that want to talk to Tim Cook. So, I mean, Devin, are you going to be throwing your hat in the ring in this auction that's being put on by the Kennedy family? And Tim Cook is saying that he has volunteered his time, and the auction is up. It's closing May 14th, but the auction is up to $210,000 for 2 hours with Tim Cook over a cup of coffee to find out, you know, ask him anything you want. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be about Apple. You can ask him anything you want. They started the auction at $5,000, and it has ballooned to $210,000. And if you want to sit down with Tim Cook and find out what is he doing, why is he not innovating, it's going to cost you more than 210, because you got to come up with 210 and $1. So can we count you in on this auction?
I had plans to be there.
Yeah.
Tim had called me to say, you know, was I going to be available to see maybe sit across
from, across
you know,
the room.
so yeah, we upped the ante, but I'm going to be busy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be busy that day.
Sadly, we're not going to be able to make that.
You know, we have limited resources here at Pulse Media.
Right.
And since we are for the common man to make stuff available, you know, we have to put that as the highest priority.
Right.
And sitting with Tim Cook over, and I don't drink coffee anyway. So, you know.
So in the end.
Postum.
Maybe.
If they started doing postum at Starbucks,
right,
you know,
you're in.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in. I'll have to chisel out some time to sit with him, but I'd be in. So.
You're in there.
Yeah,
but as of right now, forget about it.
Not so dry. I mean, you know, yeah, but I don't think we have the time. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we could have easily been in that bidding. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you have to draw the line somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna have to pass this time on the Tim Cook meeting. You know, and maybe next time, you know, we'll start auctioning off you know, some mugs of iced tea or something.
Yes.
You know,
our specialty.
Yeah, our specialty here at Pulse E-Media. So that was just a cool story I thought I would bring to the masses, you know, showing that Tim Cook is trying to show he's a man of the common people. He's willing to sit and meet with anybody and talk.
That's where he came from.
Yeah, and just talk and just say, you know, what's up? And people can find out. And they started the bidding reasonably, $5,000 for charity. So obviously anything for charity is going to be a higher price. They didn't expect it to go all the way up to 210, and the auction doesn't end until May 14th. So, you know, that guy is popular.
You know, let's see how I feel.
Yeah.
Let's put it.
You may still decide to do this thing. Okay, so in other news now, we're talking about since we're talking about Tim Cook, let's talk about a product that somebody brought out, the Pro Scope Micro Mobile Microscope debuts for the iPhone, iPad, you know what I'm saying, and more devices. If you use an iPhone or an iPad and feel the need to turn the device into a microscope for whatever reason, one reason or another, you know, maybe, you know what I'm saying, you see, you're studying ants or bugs or whatever it is, and you want to get a closer look, but you don't want to buy a whole microscope and all this type of stuff. A company called Bodolin has the product for you. The company has launched its new ProScope Micro Mobile Microscope Kit for Apple devices. For all Apple devices, the only thing that varies is the plastic case which holds the microscope to the camera of your device. Now we're going to show you a picture of this in case you want to do it. Now there are kits available for the iPhone, the full-size iPad, and iPad mini. All of the kits carry the same $149 price and the same microscope hardware. The microscope hardware allows magnification between 20 and 30 times. I mean, not at 30, 20 and 80 times magnification. So that's pretty big. 80 times. So imagine looking at an ant 80 times bigger, you know, or a leaf 80 times bigger right on your iPhone, around the outside of the professional quality glass optics. This is not plastic that they put together. This is quality glass optics of the microscope, are adjustable LEDs. Now these LEDs are powered by an onboard lithium-ion battery, so it doesn't need USB from your phone or any other device. It's powered by a lithium-ion battery pack, promising up to 5 hours of continuous use. The battery pack for the LED system is rechargeable using standard USB rechargeable port, but the kit costs about, if you order it now, $149. So you have to go to Bodolin. Let me show you this this camera, that how it's gonna look on your phone. Now this is not something that you're going to obviously leave on your phone every day, but the point is, if you have an iPhone or an iPad mini, any kind of Apple product as far as mobile device, and you want to turn that thing into a microscope for whatever reason, you want to study something, you'll be able to capture it on your iPhone, make a movie of it, whatever. This device right here, this is how it's going to look. You can attach to your iPhone. Go to Bodolin's website and you can attach this thing. You can buy it for $149. You can attach it to your iPhone right in the ring right there. Let me show you. Right in the ring right here is this is my pointer. Right in the ring right here is going to be the LED light that is powered by a USB, a lithium-ion battery, and you can recharge that battery once you are disconnected. You can recharge it, hook it up to your computer, hook it up to any USB device, and it's going to charge that way up to 5 hours of continuous use. So if you're out in the field, you're someone that loves nature, you carry your iPhone, we showed you a Kickstarter project that allows you to clamp your smartphone onto binoculars and take wide-angle views. Well, this one allows you to just clamp this, this back right here, fits over, fits on, snaps on the kit, allows you to customize it to either iPad mini, iPhone, large size iPad, and it can fit over the camera of the iPad mini, iPad, iPhone, whatever your Apple mobile device is, and it gives you magnification, which you will see on your screen, obviously, of between 20 and 80 times magnification. So, I mean, this is just a cool little gadget that you or if your child has an iPhone or something like that and you want to give them something cool, something that you can't find anywhere, an accessory that you're not going to find. If you're looking to buy a birthday gift for that person and you're wondering, what can I buy them? Man, this guy loves Apple. This woman loves everything Apple. What can I buy? What can I give them that they don't already have in the accessory world? Bodolin has something for you. That microscope that fits over that iDevice. Go to Bodolin's website and you can order it right there. $149 for the kit that fits all of that stuff. And this is what we're doing here at Tech Pulse. We bring you not only the stories, no, not just the stories, but we bring you the products that you didn't even know existed. You see, you didn't know this thing existed. Now you know. And now when you go out and purchase this thing, people are like, man, where did you get that? I want that. You know, and you have to tell them, look, man, you got to watch Tech Pulse if you want to find out the latest and greatest gadgets that you can't find anywhere. You know, we're like the Brookstone of gadgets. You go into Brookstone, they have some cool stuff that's like, oh man, this is cool. That's what we show you right here on Tech Pulse, and we also show you stuff that you don't even know existed, and that's the good thing about what we're doing here at Tech Pulse. Now, one of our last stories.
I just want to mention that one of our viewers says, I'll quote exactly, and to think I spent my life savings to spend 10 seconds with Bill Gates in an elevator. Wow.
And they could have gotten 2 hours.
They could have gotten 2 hours.
Tim Cook, with
Tim Cook.
And their life savings gone. Just 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And then he's like, oh, look, I got to go. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. Man, if they had only waited, they could have gotten, 2 hours and a cup of coffee.
But we can arrange.
Right.
We can arrange right here in Tech Pulse for a meeting with one of the movers and shakers
in the industry.
Yeah, we can't even disclose, because if we tell you who the person is,
they're going to break down the doors.
It's going to be a mob. So we won't even tell you. We just want the bids to start coming in.
So we'll start that auction going. So that you can bid for a mover and a shaker in the tech industry. And I mean, there are not many movers and shakers in the tech industry. You have people that are already there, they're already established, and then people not doing anything. We're giving you an up-and-coming mover and a shaker. So get those checkbooks ready to start to start those bids if you want to be a part of this situation here we're talking about. Okay, so now we're on the way to continuing talking about Apple and what they're all about. And we know that the operating system OS 10.9 is supposed to be coming out. Now, what does that mean? Well, Apple has, rumors anyway, have been kind of sketchy around what's going to be happening. OS X 10 has been rumored to not be. They're going to change it. They're going to flatten it. They're going to make it a little bit more. Take away that isomorphic look that it used to have. Like with the wood grain here and there in the bookcases and this that. They're going to make it a little more flat. And they're saying that the OS X 10.9 is rumored to include iOS-style multitasking. Now, when we're talking about with Apple's WWDC, which is the Worldwide Developer Conference, fast approaching in June, the rumors are starting to swirl as to what's going to be announced. Remember yesterday we talked about Apple is going to talk about their iMac and Mac Pro divisions. They're going to be discontinuing certain of their products, and now we're hearing that there might be an announcement with regards to their latest OS X 10.9 operating system that have been circulating around. And now the latest rumor around it regarding the features that might be included with OS X 10.9 operating system include a new iOS style multitasking feature together with a major update to Finder, which obviously would be very welcome. The rumors have also started via Mark Grumman from the 9 to 5 Mac website. That's Mark Grumman writes for a 9 to 5 Mac website. But a few details on the specifics have been released by him yet. Other new features are expected to arrive in the OS X 10.9 version, include a tagging ability. But, who knows? We have to wait until WDC to really find out how they're going to change OS X 10.9. Go ahead, Devin.
No, I just looked in the chat room and someone said that I guess the 10-second time with
Bill Gates?
Yeah, was when he said, 53rd floor, please. Push that button.
Push that button.
Push that button.
And that was the end of the conversation.
Yeah. So, yeah. You should have said something like 53rd. How does that stack up against,
Against 52.
Yeah, against 52. Where do you see 53rd going in the technology world? How can we parlay this into some?
Yeah, and then in the end say, have my office call your people. At least minimum.
I have some ideas for 53.
That we can mull over, you know. But sadly, that was not to be the case with Bill Gates. So it shows you, I guess, Tim Cook is really the cool, down-to-earth guy. And this time, I thought it was Bill Gates. This whole time, I was saying, man, Bill Gates, that guy is relaxed.
He is, just not in the elevator.
So, other rumors also note that OS X 10.9 software is internally code-named Cabaret and includes a version of Safari with a speedier and more efficient than the current release, together with new features for mission control to support multiple monitor setups expected to be rolled out in the OS X 10.9. So if you want to daisy chain together a couple of Apple monitors together, the OS X 10.9, they're rumoring the operating system to be specifically geared towards multiple monitor usage. But of course, all of these are just rumors that's coming out. We don't know exactly, because as WWDC rolls closer, and Apple is one of those companies that is really stingy when it comes to rolling out information. They're really stingy. They don't tell you right away what they're doing. I mean, they rarely release information. So all of this right now is really just speculation. It's just speculation as to what's coming, but we have heard that the isomorphic look that the Apple OS operating systems have had in the past is going to be taken away. They're looking to streamline it. They're looking to flatten it to make it look give it a different look. Trying to upgrade it into a different look from what reports are saying. So we have to watch around and see what Apple does with this situation, and just watch it closely. All right, so we're gonna end with a story dealing in the gaming world. This is gonna be a kind of a light story here for those of us that know about PlayStation, Sony, Vita. We know about Monster Hunter, and many people in the gaming world have been wanting Monster Hunter for the PS Vita. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for the PS Vita. Well, according to sources coming out of Sony, the PS Vita will not be getting Monster Hunter. Capcom's Monster Hunter was available for the PSP. But so many just assumed that obviously it would eventually make it to PS Vita, but sadly it looks like the PS Vita owners, such as myself, are going to be out of luck unless you want Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, which is basically a PSP port. So if you have that game on PSP, I wouldn't. That's available for the Vita, but Vita owners were no doubt hoping for something a little bit more exclusive than Monster Hunter Freedom. So this news was spotted on the Capcom forums, and according to Capcom and Sony, they're saying, sorry, we've got no plans for a PS Vita Monster Hunter at the moment. Maybe down the road they're going to come up with Monster Hunter 3 for the PS Vita, but for those of us that have been saying, man, I'm looking for that, you're going to have to settle for that PSP port, which if you have a PSP, you've already played it, so it's really not that much different on the PS Vita as far as graphics or anything, gameplay, all the same. So that's just a little story coming out of Capcom. If you were waiting for Monster Hunter for the PS Vita, sorry, according to Capcom, it's not coming. Not right now anyway. So we're going to have to wait and see. And it's probably because they are discovering that the mobile gaming market is just not as profitable as it once was. Before, you would have this game come out on the Vita, on the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo DI, the PlayStation Portable. You would have all four of those systems having all the latest release games because they want to make sure as many platforms have their games as possible. But with the advent of the cell phones and the better processors that are in cell phones and tablets, mobile gaming has shifted from the standalone gaming system like the PS Vita, like the PlayStation Portable, like the 3DS, and things like that, over to mobile phones, tablets, and so forth, where people they have their tablets, they're working, they're networking, they're doing different things with their tablets and phones anyway, and they just play a few games on it rather than carrying two devices for their gameplay. When I go, if I go to the doctor's office or something like that, it's easier for me to play a game on my phone than it is for me to carry my PS Vita, which I do sometimes carry my PlayStation Vita with me when I'm sitting there in the office. But it's much easier for casual gamers or people who don't really play games to play it on their mobile device that they have already. So this is what's happening in the mobile world, and this is why I believe Monster Hunter is not going to be coming anytime soon for the PlayStation Vita. Well, we've reached the end of another Tech Pulse. This has been an exciting show. We want to thank all the people in the chat room, people who have been viewing us. We want to thank them for joining us here today on Tech Pulse. We're going to come back tomorrow with another selection of news, bringing you up to date with all the news you can use in the tech world. My name is Hartley Reginald Smith II, and we are out. See you tomorrow.